Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Performance Lab. Don't forget to subscribe below to the right for updates to new videos.
Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab in California, and we're gonna go over a speed technique thing that I think will be really important for you guys in understanding how to get a little bit more force out of the ground. And as we know, one of the big things that it was like Usain Bolt and Tyson Gane, a lot of these top elite sprinters, is that they did a study to find that when you're pushing off the ground, those guys are able to create 6 times their body weight of force when pushing off the ground, and that the amount of force compared to body weight is critical in order to help you run faster. And so, the average person's probably around 3, maybe 4, somewhere in there. And again, these guys are creating 6, they're double. And one of the things that I've realized starting to do breakdowns is the importance of having the right range of motion within your foot in order to make it so you could really maximize your force. So what happens is that a lot of times when you guys are, or when athletes are transferring all their weight forward, right, they're going and they landed here and now they've transferred all the weight forward, is there's a limitation in the range of motion within the back foot, toe area, right? So they're not able to really get their heel up and be able to push it in a way that makes it so the back leg itself is actually fully extended and straight, right? So what ends up happening is that there's like a little bit more of a knee bend here, or just when they're transitioning, the foot hasn't come off the ground before that heel could really get very high up in the air. Both of those problems end up making it so you're not able to generate as much force into the ground when you're pressing off. And again, what they are is not able to keep your heel, right? The heel gets a limited range, so as you're transferring forward here, you have to push off when your foot is really not in a good, fully extended position, right? So you want to be able to get that heel almost facing straight up. I got good shoes to be able to show you this, where it's basically facing straight up, where a lot of times what will end up happening is that people will end up pushing off there, or the knee, right? The knee ends up being a little bit too bent there, and so when the knee's a little bit too bent, then you're really not able to push off. So there ends up being not a good mechanic within either the knee flexion, or maybe even a big problem that we'll see too is like the knee right underneath the hip rather than behind the hip, and see how it's extended now in comparison to here, where now it's bent. And when you're pressing off there, you're just not, you can feel it right now, you just don't feel as much force in the back leg in comparison to where you can here. Now you can really create a lot of force out of that back foot. So something to take consideration when we're talking about speed mechanics and how you can optimize your force. And then again, remember, when you're pushing off that back leg, you want to be pushing off the ground and making it so you're pushing your foot up and forward, right? So you're getting that heel up towards your butt. You don't want to be pushing back, right? Or straight up. You want to be pushing up and forward. Don't let that heel get too far back behind you. You want to be able to push and drive that foot back, right up back underneath your hip, in order to really maximize the technique within the sprint. So yeah, I wanted to make this video just to give a little bit more information about that part of the running form. And we've talked a lot about the ability to maximize your range of motion within the foot. And actually, real quick, I'll show you a good little exercise for it as well. And really, it's just being able to bend, right? And as I'm bending, getting that full knee extension and kind of rocking forward and back, I'm really allowing myself to get that range of motion within my back foot here, right? See how I'm allowing myself to really get all the way up onto that big toe, and giving that big toe that range of motion, where now I'll be able to push off fairly effectively. So good little stretches to do. Make sure as you're doing it, you can get to that range where you're getting into full knee flexion. This is really more of a knee flexion exercise, but as you're getting into that full knee flexion, you're really able to transfer all the way up, all the weight onto your big toe. So that really stretches that back or underneath part of your foot. That means it's a good exercise for you. So again, I wanted to make this video to help you guys out, give you a little bit more technique information. If you guys have any questions, we'd be happy to answer any of those for you. We'll also have links here where you can sign up for either a call with me or to get signed up with the speed program. Really putting a lot of resources and time into helping people get faster, and so we'll have some cool new things here in the next week or so for you to be able to access and download and things like that. So stay tuned for that, and looking forward to hearing from you.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, you could subscribe down below, and that way you can get updates on any of the new videos that we get. Also, if you want to, you can check out some of our other breakdowns for speed and throwing. We have exercises, also jumping mechanics videos, a lot of great stuff within our channel. Hope you enjoy.